Hey everybody, Steve here again in the Illinois recording studio. Hey, I've got a beautiful and very unique drum here. A friend of mine who has an interest in this asked me to do a little video for him, so that's what I'm doing. What you see before you is a 6.5 by 14 Craviotto timeless timber bird's eye maple snare drum, and it's a very unique drum for a lot of different reasons. Of course, Johnny's timeless timber drums were done, the bird's eye maple, 600-year-old Lake Superior timeless timber, which Johnny had exclusive rights to for many years for the percussion industry. When he first did the run of those drums, he did 5.5 by 14s that were distributed through Drum Workshop. Johnny held back the cream of the crop shells, meaning the most densely figured shells, and he also held back some of the deeper shells, 6.5 by 14, which you see before you. Johnny did some special runs for me of 4 by 14s, and he did a small run for me of 5 6.5 by 14s that were bird's eye maple with gold hardware. And he did a couple of one-offs here and there, and this is one of the one-offs that he did for someone else. So there are very, very few 6.5 timeless timbers in existence, maybe 10 in total. That's it. This particular one is extremely cool because, number one, it was made for an artist, and the name is on here, Wayne Salzmann, right over here on that nameplate. And this drum has beautiful, doesn't have gold hardware in this case. It's much, much more subtle. And this is not a gloss lacquer, it's a satin oil. So, and it's engraved rim still, but this is the only 6.5 by 14 out there that's got this particular configuration on it. And of course, these drums sound amazing. The body and the depth of the drum is incredible. So it serves so many purposes, it's just not even funny. So it's not only extremely, extremely rare in terms of the configuration and the size, but also just sonically they're incredible. Anybody who owns a timeless timber Craviotto will tell you it's just an incredible instrument. And so what I'm going to do is give you some examples here, just different things out at the edges with different ways of tightening the snares, loosening the snares, little different examples for you. So right here's where we got a tune to start. Right there, okay? So we're going to give you a little example of some things, sensitivity out at the edges here. Center. Huge. Now I'm going to tighten up the wires a little bit, leave the tuning the same. We can take it up even more. These things don't choke no matter what you do. Take it up even tighter. That's all the way up. Excuse my rim shots. I miss them a lot. All right, now let's do something else different here. Let's take it. Let's take this way, way, way up just for fun, okay? Because I want to give you a sense for the variety sonically that you can get out of this drum. This is 6.5 by 14, so it's got deep body to it, but you're going to see that this thing cranked up is going to project beautifully. It's going to have huge sensitivity. It's not going to choke. And, of course, with being 600-year-old wood, so dense that that wood's going to project like crazy. So when you crank it up, it's going to be an even higher pitch. It's going to project like nuts. All right, we're cranked it up there, right? So let's bring the wires up, let's see, fairly snug. Yeah, let's get to marching drum time here, okay? Okay, now we're going to play around with the wires a little bit on this. And now I'm going to take this down just a tad. I'm going to find a nice sweet spot for it here. So giving you an idea of the range that you get out of this thing without any choking whatsoever. So we're going to find a nice sweet spot for it here in the high range. Here we go, here we go. A little more out of here. Let's see where we're at now here. Take the wires up a little. That might be even more. Now I'm going to bring it down to a little bit more of what I think would be a kind of a normal for me playing range. I still like to have my drums tuned fairly tight, and actually, you know what I'll do, I'll take it down even lower. For those of you who want to get advantage of what the 6.5 depth can do. We'll crank it down there so you get a real good sense of the body you can come out of this drum. And also, too, keep in mind, all we're doing here is tuning the top head. You want to tweak things between the top and the bottom. That's also, obviously, possibilities. Yeah, so it's down a little bit. Let's see what we got down there. Still don't lose the sensitivity, even when you got it tuned in that range. I'll take it back up a little bit more to where I would play it for one last little run on the drum. Again, 6.5 by 14, a unique drum, very unique drum. The only one in this configuration. Very few of these were made by Johnny. Most of them were for me, and a few for one-offs like this for artists. Remarkable stuff, and made, somebody told me, it's true, there's an interesting thing about stuff like this. This is all handmade, and this was made by Johnny. And someone said, you know, that's the thing about great French bread. The flavor comes from the hands. And that's a really, really cool statement. I can't take credit for that. My friend did, but that's the truth. There's a certain vibe about the drums that Johnny put his hands on this wood. He made this drum himself from that board, 600-year-old piece of wood. And it comes out of the lake, and it ends up being a magnificent instrument like this created by the master. It doesn't get any better than that. Anyway, enough about that. Let me just give you a little final sample here. I'm going to take snares up a little bit. There you go. Any questions on this, you can reach me. This is for sale through my private collection. It's part of my private collection. So give me a shout, VintageDrums@AOL.com. Thanks, everybody.